Okay, people, so I did get the El Camino out. It's sitting out where the rest of the parking is, obviously. And now we need to focus on, or I'm focusing on, the Roadmaster. So, if you guys aren't familiar, it is a 94 Buick Roadmaster Estate. As you can see, she barely fits in the garage. So, today, from the drop light, if it's not a clue, blower motor. This being the original. And I've already put the aftermarket one from O'Reilly's, which is PM131. I've already put it in the housing. Now, as you can see, there are some differences. The factory has a nice little plug, and the aftermarket one, well, has some wiring. That's kind of a good thing, as the factory wiring in the car itself is a little on the short side. So, let's get the old one out the way, and we'll focus on the new one, which, as you can see, already wants to come out because of the wire. So, new one has this nice little gasket already on it, which is a bit of a pain because it doesn't want to seat all the time. Which I had nicely tucked in until I picked it up for you guys to see the other side. It does come with the bird cage already, so you don't have to worry about that. And as you can tell, it's going to take some work when you guys put yours together to get that gasket the way it should be. Which isn't easy with one hand, because I don't have anybody to help me film this while I'm doing the work. Alright, that's somewhat tucked in. Good enough for government work, at least that's how my dad would explain it to me. So, you're going to need to take the factory gasket, which you can see still has the original marks. And you have to put it back in. Couldn't really tell you which way this went. So if it's your first time doing one of these, you should probably make sure that you take some pictures. That might help you quite a bit. As I said, if I had more hands, it would probably be nice. So that goes like that. Not much of a chance it stays. This also is with it. It does have a direction because, well, it used to be stuck right here. I tried using some foam safe super glue on it, and well, that didn't work. So, is what it is, guys. Girls, yours might be a few of you. At least that's how I identify, and well, who knows these days and the way the world is. But it's besides the issue, isn't it? Okay. Now, make sure my alarm's off. And as you can tell, it's not like I have a whole heck of a lot of room in here to work. So, bear with me while I try to get the door open. Okay. Hope you like my coffee mug. Team Losi fan, or at least old Losi. I used to have a bunch. Still have a bunch of double X's. There's nowhere to run them in Fresno anymore. Okay, so once you get down here, this is what you're working with. It's a bunch of wires that are in the way. I've already used my patented purple electrical tape to tie some of those out of my way. And it's just a matter of getting that blower motor assembly back in its hole. At furthest, of course it's not going to focus. At furthest bolt away here, this guy will be your enemy. And especially if you don't remember to take it out when you remove everything to remove the blower motor in the first place. So, let's see if I can remember how this all goes together. Yep. So, I don't know if you guys can see it. There's a little hole here. That will line up with your little foam piece that I put on earlier. I tried to keep on with super glue, but it's not happening. Like I said, bear with me, because I don't have a camera person. Just little Jessica. And I say that because I'm only 5 foot tall. So a lot of things are hard to do when you're short. Mind you, dashboard diving is not my favorite thing to do. I rank it right up there with, say, brakes or rinse. Neither one of those do I like either. You can't really get your hands in here have little hands. And I'm still having much of a complication with this. And this is probably about as exciting as watching glue dry. Ow. If you have a bad back or shoulders, I would not recommend trying to do this. Ask me how I know. You guys have only been seeing drop light, which is cool. Okay. Like I said, I don't have anybody here helping me film this, so. I think that's right. Okay, so the screws they use are little gold ones. See if I can get one of these started. A really weird size too. This is supposed to be a metric car, but these are 7/32. So you're gonna need both standard and metric to work on your Roadmasters. This goes for all the B bodies, Cadillac, Caprice, everything along those lines. Whatever you do, don't completely tighten those screws up yet, because you'll probably have to move things around. If there's anything I've learned working on cars, it's that. back in. If you have little kids who want to learn how to work on cars, this is a pretty good exercise for them because small hands would definitely be good. Well, those are all in finger tight. What you're staring at right now is the blower motor resistor. That guy. And while the blower motor's cheap, only cost me like 37 bucks. Out the door with taxes, and that's in California. The resistor, from what I hear, not so much. Those are closer to 150 bucks. So, not nice. And then there's this last one, which is going to be a true pain in the neck. All the way in the back. Remember, they're plastic screws, so, well, the screws aren't plastic, but the plastic you're putting it in is, obviously. So don't get them too tight. You don't have to Godzilla them in. Just make sure they're not gonna, wander away on you. Alright, if you're wondering, stubby little ratchet, probably the best way to go. Okay, now, simple matter of plugging the thing back in, and GM uses their weather locks. Means they've got a nice little seal around them and they're not just going to be easy to plug back in. Okay. Do not pinch in your vacuum lines. That's what that thing is. And that's what this block is right here. These control all your doors inside of the air conditioner, and well, the air conditioner will be somewhat useless, so will the heater if any of those are damaged. So, back to the other camera. Now you can, if it'll focus. Now you can see the wiring mess you gotta go around in order to get that in. So, now we see if it works, and we see if it makes noise. Put you guys on pause real quick because I didn't want you to hear all the moaning and groaning as my old body figures out how to get out from underneath that dashboard. Alright, this is the lovely climate control system in the Buicks. Later videos I'll probably explain to you the magic tricks it does. So you might be able to hear it. It's working just fine. Seems like the gasket is seated enough so that it's not hitting anything, which is nice. So we'll shut that back off. Don't ever leave your key on too long because you will burn out the ignition module, and well, you don't want to do that because it's a bit of a pain to get back in. Okay, now that that's done, all we have left to do is put the trim that we had to take off, put this in, back together. Okay, so here's the trim. We got a little piece of carpeting that you have to put back in. And then there's the giant door sill. Some of you might remember from a previous video I said, well, if you recognize the trim pieces, you'll know what I'm working on next. This whole contraption sealed in with 4 screws. They are Phillips heads. My light and I are going to fight with each other. Okay. So, that's going to go in there like that somehow. So, not terribly sure how. Again, I don't have a film crew, so you guys just have to kind of bear with me. Did forget the one big piece of trim that's going to end up actually going across the bottom to seal this all up, because luxury car, right? Or at least from back in the day. Kinda wish I had my other Roadmasters here. This would kinda explain to me how all this stuff goes back together. Oh, look, light came on. I forgot that I pulled that out. Besides a clean part in your carpet, there is nothing to really tell you which direction this goes. So either all the popping and banging is good, or I broke stuff. But, hey, whatever. Okay, so it goes something like that. For the most part, I probably shouldn't have to worry about having my used to be Harbor Freight droplet out. So that's going away. We've got screw holes, 1, 2 in there somewhere, 3 and 4. And there's a little clip on the back side of the other trim piece. And that's going to sit underneath this with the little slot right there. Not that it's focusing. Slot there. Into tab B. So, there we go. Oh, so much fun to try and do this, you know. One-handed. You can kind of see what's going on. You push that in there. Ow! Don't cut yourself while you're pushing down on the trim piece on the outside, like I just did. I'll have to charge my husband for blood. Again, like on the fan motor, remember, don't tighten all your screws before you have the trim piece in place. It'll be more of a fight. So, trim piece in place. All these screws are the same size, so you do not have to worry about which hole you put your screw in. Pun intended. Get them just inside. This last bit right here, it was cracked on mine, so super glued it back together. These old Roadmasters are pretty famous for that happening, especially around things like the door panels when you gotta take them apart to do the window motor assemblies and such. Think of your secretary. There we go. One or two of these may be a little harder than the others. So, again, set you guys down. Hope you guys can see me. Can at the very least hear me, I'm sure of that. Alright. And walk them in kind of like the way I am. You know, do your, usually it start from the middle, but in this case, I want to make sure the seat's where it's supposed to. And these ones are into metal. However, they're only into sheet metal, so just get them tight. Don't get them, don't tighten them down like your Godzilla. They will strip. There I am. Okay. This is about as exciting as grass growing. But it has to be done. Alright, So, put you guys on pause while I grab the last piece of trim. Alright, so this is your last piece of trim. Here's where the light will go. It simply snaps into place. And you've got one hole there. And one pin tab kind of thing there. And those are going to line up underneath. So, pin tab lines up with that doohickey. And can't really see it, but there's a screw right there. And that's where your little hole will line up. So, let me get this on real quick. Alright, so, not that my phone does an excellent job, but as you can see, it's all clipped up. And now, you're back to having your lap of luxury and no cords hanging down. So, that is a blower motor on a 92, I believe it is, through about 96 Caprice Roadmaster Cadillac, the rare and exclusive Oldsmobile wagon. Didn't mind getting my hands on one of those, but that's how you do it. So, like and subscribe if you like hearing me talk. And the more I get, the better equipment I'll get. I want to about that being my toolbox. I'll be able to get one like my dad used to have, an actual toolbox. So, have a good day and stay safe.